What's up, guys? This is Griever back here, bringing you guys a continuation of an older video series. You guys probably thought I forgot, didn't you? You guys probably thought that I completely forgot about reviewing Zelda Twilight Princess, Volume 3 this time. I already did Volume 1 and 2, and in all honesty, there was just way too many. I had too many projects on the go at the time. I kind of went overboard with how many projects I wanted to do and start and timing and all that such. But now with this whole quarantine thing and such, even though I am going to work this week, I figured, I'm a completionist. I like to platinum my video games, as you guys know from my video game content and such. So I realized it's not that I didn't have the volumes. It's not that I didn't read the volumes. I just kind of forgot I was doing that series. So that being said, let's cover Volume 3 today. I had a little bit of time, so I'll try to, catch up with this video series. Right now we're up to Volume 6, so I'll try to cover 3, 4, 5, and 6 as soon as I can. This one being, of course, Volume 3. Now, the exposure on the camera is kind of bad, so I won't be able to show you guys the artwork very well, like if I show it too close to the camera. But the artwork, as you guys can hopefully tell, is really good. It's amazing. I love this art style. If I could draw in this art style, I'd be writing 100 stories a day. This is one of the classic manga art styles. It's detailed, it's proportional, it's got the right shading, it makes the characters look like the characters, they can have fun with it. This is the art style that I enjoy. It reminds me of old classic things like the Inuyasha anime and the Vision of Escaflowne anime. Not so much the mangas of those series because they were a different art style, but that kind of classic look to anime when I was growing up. That classic manga look, and this is it. This is the fire that I was looking for. So, anyways, Volume 3 is one of the bigger volumes. And I kind of forget how I structured these reviews, so I'm just going to go off and say, once again, the art is amazing. Volume 3 is actually one of the longer ones. It's one of the thicker ones. And it doesn't cover necessarily the most interesting part of it. But once again, this Link, unlike other Links that we've seen in the past, and unlike the Link that we know and love from the video games, who is, of course, the silent protagonist, we think, yeah, he's fine. This is not a coming-of-age story necessarily. It's, as I've spoken about, I'm sure I did in previous reviews, this is a hero who does not want to be a hero. He was chosen by destiny, but he's lacking conviction, fortitude. He's just a teenager. He's just a young adult. He has no idea the direction in life. It's easy to write a character who, he's the hero, he's the warrior, he's brave, he's courageous, and he'll always have the strength to fight for his friends. This Link has doubt. This Link actually has honest doubt in himself. He doesn't want this path. He doesn't necessarily want this journey. He doesn't believe in himself. He's not brimming with confidence. And why would he? If you were just thrust upon you, if all of a sudden, it's nice to read a shonen or something where the main character gets a superpower and he's like, I'm going to fight for justice and I'm confident that I can protect all my friends. It's unrealistic in that sense. Not that there isn't super confident people, just look at yours truly. But I'm not exactly a dime a dozen type of person. There are many people out there that have doubt in themselves and such, and even me, I, of course, like a regular human being, they doubt themselves all the time. So Link in this story is one of the most compelling versions of Link I have ever seen. It's one of the most compelling versions of a character, honestly, in a long time. Because he's not one-dimensional. And he goes through the story, the game that we know, but it's a much different journey than the one we took in the game. When we took the one in the game, we just felt like, okay, we're once again Link. The brimming hero who never falters, who doesn't mind, he just screams. He just yells a lot. No problem. Every problem, he can solve it. Big monsters, no problem. He'll go attack them head on. This one is afraid. He's lacking conviction. So I was chosen by the gods. So what does that mean? It's not like they gave me superpowers. And Midna is the perfect counter. This might not have worked so well in the manga adaptations of Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and etc. because the support system was different. Here we have Midna, who's sarcastic, snide, not exactly on Link's side. They're just working together for a common goal. She's not there supporting, we have to save the world. She's like, I don't actually give a crap about the light world. Now we know Midna is a much more complex character than that, but her attitude and everything towards this, she's unforgiving, she's a much different contrast to this, and this makes the weaker-willed Link, who has to grow into being this hero. So what, he was chosen by the gods from day one. What does that mean to him? That doesn't mean that all of a sudden, and it's good, because all of a sudden a god comes down and tells you, all right, you're the child of destiny. That doesn't make you invincible. That doesn't mean you can't lose a fight. That doesn't mean you won't die. These things are just, you were chosen to represent us. That doesn't mean you can win necessarily. Fate is not set like that. And I really like, and in this particular volume, we see that quite a bit, because he feels like he can't protect anybody. Though he does run into, we get a lot in this volume actually, more so on the emotional aspect of what Link is going through as a character. This is really the characterization one, because we see the children who eventually all gather together. We actually get extra scenes, unlike the game, which is nice, how Renaud, see, I don't know how to say these names. So the shaman character from Kakariko Village is Renaud, I guess. Renaud. He actually goes up and he meets with the people of Ordon, and he's like, I'll take the children with me, we can protect them, with Barnes and everybody like that, and it's all good. They go there, they enter the Twilight Realm. Unfortunately, it covers their Kakariko and stuff, as we know from the game, but we're seeing the development forward with that. We're seeing the capture of Ilia. We're seeing how her treatment at the hands of the Moblins are, and all this stuff. And just the build-up to the big fight on the bridge. Honestly, the big fight on the bridge, while very well done, my favorite part of this was not that. The emotional build-up to Link having to enter wolf mode, being unsure of himself, and then finding the children again, but unable to help them, they can't see him, they can't touch him, he can't reassure them, and they're just talking, and he's beside himself. We saw this in game, but so emotional in the manga, and the fact that they're just all calling, Link will come to save us. It was just a great adaptation, and after this, we see that he's relieved, but he's also sorrow-filled, because he can't pat them on the head, he can't hug them, he can't give them words of encouragement, he can't do that in wolf form, and he feels once again lost. He's relieved that they're all alive and together, but now, it's such a turmoil internally for Link, and this is where the Golden Wolf appears once again. Best part about this is I love this adaptation, and I know I must have talked about it in Volume 1, because in my mind, as I've said before, the hero of time is the Golden Wolf. That's a lot of people's theory. I don't know if it was ever confirmed or something like that. I probably looked that up or some such, but it's been a long time since I played the game or looked up the wiki or anything like that. But in my mind, the hero of time from Ocarina of Time, the hero of time is the Golden Wolf. He's the one after Majora's Mask. He's the one that saved the world but went back to his own time. And he's young Link, and he never was the hero of time, technically, in that respect. But he still retained his sword skills and all that such, and then he died and what have you. But he went on to protect. But because he's no longer the hero, he lost to Zant, gaining huge power from the Triforce of Power from Ganondorf. He could not protect Midna at the end of the day, because he's only in Golden Wolf form. He doesn't have his power anymore. He no longer has the Master Sword. He's a shell of his former self. Though powerful, he's no longer the hero of time anymore, and thus he lost. But he appears once again as a spirit, almost like his spirit, the spirit of the true hero of time, will never die. And since he truly was that hero, they allow him to come and aid the new hero, the one who wears the green tunic once again, the clothes of a hero. It's an absolute treat to see the relationship here that we never got in-game, which I feel like, honestly, that the manga's handling this so well, is the relationship between Midna and the Golden Wolf, or Old Link, the hero of time. because she's beside herself. We see her weep, we see her cry. You were alive after all, and says, "I'm just here to help him. Don't worry about him. He'll be fine." And that reuniting of their characters, I can't wait to see more of that. I really want to see more interactions between Midna and the Golden Wolf, and I love the interactions between, of course, the Hero of Time in skeletal form and our new Link, our Twilight Princess Link. This is a good training thing. It reminds me of some Bleach stuff, some Luffy Rayleigh stuff. It just reminds me of the fact that Link even recognized that he's training me, and he finally learns the move. He gets one hit on the Hero of Time, and it's like, well, that was a pretty devastating blow. Puts his head back on. He's like, there, I've got more skills to teach you, but you need to learn. And he teaches them a lesson about bravado, about courage, about what real bravery is. You know, you're just basically a pissant full of bravado. You don't have it. And Link knows this, but it's nice to see that the Hero of Time is able to recognize this. Like, you're not a hero like I was necessarily. You're full of way too much doubt. You're full of bluster and bravado, and that's it. You don't have true strength or true courage. And he even says, you can have true courage, which will lead to your real strength, or you can gain plenty of strength, which will lead you to gain courage. But either way, you haven't done either yet. And I'm here to basically whip your ass into shape. And he does this, and we don't get a full thing. Link keeps asking, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm just a god of death. If I kill you, but I might gain another name if you succeed." We don't get the name, of course. I hope that they have this big reveal that he is the past Hero of Time from the manga, from the manga adaptation Ocarina of Time. I really hope that's the case. Either way, after this, Link wakes up. Midna was protecting his body, all that such. He turns from wolf form back to his hero form, similar to the game, and then they fight against the moblins that are attacking and the Twilight creatures and everything. He saves Colin. He fights against the big Moblin King, on the Great Bridge with Epona by his side. I like the fact that Renato actually assists with a bow and arrow, like bam, 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 and he's just like, like that scene where he takes on the whole army is awesome. And Twilight Princess has some of the funnest combat in that sense, when you're just riding around. It's like you have a bunch of horseback people, and you're just like, wham, and you're just whacking them off like they're goddamn, like you have a baseball bat. It's fantastic. But I like the fact that he's an assist, because that was the whole point. He was there because Kakariko Village is much more easily protected from invasion in this sense, and Renato and Barnes, between bombs and a bow and arrow, they're actual warriors in that sense, and they can actually assist, unlike in Ordinance. So I like that whole scene. The fight on the bridge was epic. I think it was handled better than the game, but once again, this was already a very thick volume, as you guys can tell. It's one of the thicker ones out of the 6 I currently own. So I think they kind of covered it enough, and it was still a great fight. It was still handled quite well. So they knock him off the bridge. It's an epic fight. Everyone's okay. They chat in Kakariko for a bit, and then that's kind of it. So that's my summary of it. Once again, the art is amazing. I wish I could draw that well. The direction they have taken this, I have enjoyed so much. And there are certain aspects that I cannot wait for. There are certain things that I remember from the game. I can't wait till they get to the Temple of Time. I cannot wait till they get to the Temple of Time, because that is the biggest. Here's the Master Sword. Here's the Temple of Time. Let's hear the Song of Time playing, and I wonder if the Golden Wolf will appear. Like, there's just so much, because I haven't actually read volumes. I haven't read volume 6. I own it, but I haven't read it yet. And I think I read volume 5. I think I'm up to 5, but I'm not 100% sure. But I had to do a reread here before doing this video, because it's been a while since I read them. So what did you guys think, though? This volume 3, if so far, if the first 2 videos didn't catch your eye and you're just coming in here, I urge you to check the playlist, and or I assume there's a playlist for this. And check out Volume 1 and 2, of course, because I already have reviews up on them. Volume 3 is, I don't think it's the best volume but so far, but it's definitely, it holds up very, very well. It's more of an emotional baggage development of character volume, along with following what the events of Kakariko Village and the great battle on the bridge. So hopefully you guys have picked this up. Hopefully you enjoy it. I hope, if nothing else, I have convinced you to start reading this. If you're a fan of Zelda at all, you will love the manga series adaptations of all the different Zelda games. I own quite a few of them myself. So this has been Griever with your Volume 3 review. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you back here next time, ladies and gentlemen, for Volume 4. See ya.